So, namaste and welcome to this session on year end reflections, gratitude meditation, and preparing for the new year. My name is Nina. Some of you know me. If you don't know me, I am from currently from Delhi, staying in Delhi. I am a pranic healer, pranic healing instructor, a physiotherapist, a postural alignment therapist, and this is part of a session that we do, I think, for the last almost now 8 years in succession, to just go over what the year has been like and then to help us prepare for the next year. Actually, I think मेरे लिए, and I'll do the session in Hindi and English as promised, especially to Neetu. So,
मीना जी दो कई लोगों का ज्वाइन नहीं हो रहा है।
please ask them. वही आप it's an automatic registration in the sense कि कोई वो नहीं है इसमें they don't have to. मैं आपको वैसे भी लिंक भेज रही हूँ, आप उनको दे दीजिएगा. But if they've registered, they should be able to join the session. It would have come automatically in the email, the link to register. Okay, so let's start with a small prayer. It's always good to start with a prayer. And given that we also belong to an energy school, a spiritual school, it's always nice to have the right energy with us. So please put your hands on your heart, close your eyes, connect your tongue to the palate, take a deep breath, and mentally just say, to the Divine Supreme God, we thank you for all your blessings. Take a moment to think of all the blessings in your life. Think of blessings beyond the obvious ones of food, clothing, and shelter. So many blessings in our life. Mentally say thank you for all the blessings in my life, blessings that I've received, that I continue to receive, blessings that I'm aware of, blessings that I may not be aware of. But for all the blessings in my life, thank you. Thank you for divine guidance, divine help, and divine protection. Thank you for helping us with a clear mind, clear thinking, with the ability to let go of what no longer serves our purpose, with the ability to change and transform. Thank you for helping us become better and better every day in every way. Thank you for blessing this session and all the participants, whether they are watching this session live or they will watch the recording, at all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Thank you. Take a deep breath, smile, open your eyes. Welcome to this session. So, we always start with a reflection. You know, Socrates would say, a life that is not examined is not worth living. So, I'm going to ask you, and this is going to be more interactive. So, मैं आप लोगों को कुछ questions डालूंगी. Take a few moments. बहुत लंबा भी नहीं सोचना है. Keep your pen and paper ready, because अगर आप सिर्फ दिमाग में सोचेंगे, that is not good enough. It's always good. हमारे जो you know teacher हैं, we a lot of us belong to the school of pranic healing. In my case, I always give a lot of gratitude to Master Choa, because it is his teachings that have made so many things clear for me. And Master would always say that without awareness, there can be no transformation. Also, he would say that when you write something down, it brings energy to it. How many times has it happened that, you're going to the market, you think ye kharidna hai, mental list aap bana lete ho. When you go to the market, you pick up some things. When you come back home, you realize ki kuch bhul gaya. So it's always a good thing to have a checklist and to prepare ourselves properly for whatever we need to do. I mean, otherwise, imagine you're trying to, if some of you are chefs or you're wanting to prepare a dinner and last moment pe aap realize karte ho, अरे ये ingredient नहीं है, वो ingredient नहीं है. So it's always good to put pen to paper. And also when you put pen to paper, जब आप कुछ अपने हाथ से लिखते हो, तो उसमें there is an energy transfer. The chances of it happening are a lot more. Another thing I've noticed is when you ask people to write down um, something, you're forced to think. So many times people will say, can we just talk for 5 minutes? And I think many of you here will agree that it's never a 5 minute call. It goes on to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, because half the time when I'm talking to these people, I'll ask them, yeah, but what is the question? What is the point? But अगर आप उनको बोलोगे कि लिख के भेजो, you're forced to and think clearly and word it properly, because a text message, yeah, whatever WhatsApp message also, there's only as much as you will be able to write, so you are actually forced to think clearly. So I'm just going to come up with a series of questions. For each question, I would like you to just think and put down whatever comes into your mind. Don't think too long also, don't be judgmental, just put it down. Okay, so at at the end of the year, in fact at the end of the day, it should be a daily practice, but especially when we are going into the new year, another thing that my teacher Master Choa would say is, when you want to start something new, there are certain times in the year which are very good for doing something new, and one of those times is the new year. So I remember one of the sessions I was attending with Master Stephen Ko, one of the acharyas, and he said कि अगर कोई भी नया प्रोजेक्ट होता था या कुछ भी नया इन्वेस्टमेंट होता था, मास्टर वुड से वेट टिल द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द ईयर, एंड उसको फिर बिगिनिंग ऑफ द ईयर में स्टार्ट करेंगे. क्यों? बिकॉज इट्स अ हाई एनर्जी टाइम. It's one of the high energy times, for example, for you individually would be your birthday, for example. Okay. Another high energy time for many people on the spiritual path would be the Vesak full moon. जो बुद्ध पूर्णिमा का होता है, it's supposed to be the most important full moon. Another time for people would be, for example, those in the school of Pranic healing and Arhatic yoga would be Master Choa's birthday. So ये जो कुछ dates हैं, ये मेरे calendar पे already marked होती हैं. इन दिनों पे I make sure if I have to do really something, if I think Indian tradition में जैसे सब लोग मुहूर्त निकालते हैं, हम लोगों के लिए, if you're in the school of pranic healing, these are some short, you can say, shubh muhurat, because the energy on these days is high. You see, New Year's पे कितने लोग आपको wish कर रहे होते हैं, Happy New Year, may all your wishes be fulfilled. You're getting so many blessings, and all these blessings have energy. सेम वे जब आपका बर्थडे होता है, दैट्स अ हाई एनर्जी डे. हाउ मेनी पीपल आर विशिंग यू, मे योर विशेस गेट फुलफिल्ड, may you get what you want, may your heart's desires be fulfilled. So not only as a day, it is the day when you came into the material world, but it's also the day where the whole world is wishing you well. Then the birth of a spiritual guru like Master Choa's birthday for us, it's a high energy day, right? And similarly, Buddha Purnima, the day that Lord Buddha was, they say, he was born, he attained illumination, he attained samadhi. Again, these are some of the days which are high energy days. So, inko to apne calendar pe you should mark them. And I'll tell you some examples of what you can do on these days. So, if I have to, for example, हम लोग के स्कूल में we are always taught to donate 10%. So donations, for example, for me at the beginning of the year is one of the days where I do the maximum donation. Another day would be again my birthday. Another day would be Master's birthday. Then the full moon days. So, that energy is constantly spread, and that energy is constantly there. Now, why I started doing this session, the first time I experienced something like this, I think, was at a conference in the ashram. We had gone, I think, for an instructors' conference or something. One of the acharyas was asking us, have you made your New Year's plans? And the first question she asked was, okay, how many you have planned for the next, 25 years? Not a single hand had gone up. Karte karte 5 saal. 5 saal pe still I saw some hands go up. And of course, I was nowhere near there. My hand went up when she said 1 week. It was like that. But it got me thinking, and it's true that I wasn't really planning too much, or it wasn't concrete planning. But once I started doing that, I think I realized I'd just written on a piece of paper, not believing much. I'd written some things that I wanted to achieve. And the next year, as I was reflecting, 9 out of 10 things on that paper had actually happened. They had just happened. And so I started putting in some more thought into it. And now every year when I write down things, I would say, yeah, the average of 9 out of 10 is happening. most of the things that I write down, and not only I've got this feedback from many, many people. When they write it down, it starts happening somehow. Okay. So you must have a pen and paper with you. Now, why is it healthy to reflect on or take stock of events? Because one, it you can start with, what did I achieve? So it's always good to start on a positive note. Are there things that you have achieved this year? What have been the top highlights? Then the second thing you can actually do is, we'll go to it. I'll start telling you the questions in a moment. It'll give you stock of what led to that achievement. Or in case you didn't achieve something, what were the roadblocks? Or then you can ask yourself, was there anything differently that you could have done? आपके कोई कुछ गलत हैबिट्स हैं जो आपको अब इस बार चेंज करने ही होंगे. सो इट्स not only time to acknowledge the good and learn from whatever didn't work, but it also helps us notice certain situations, people, patterns that we should either keep in our life or do away with us. You see? So, as you reflect, the first thing I would like everyone to do is write down what did you achieve in 2024. Take a minute. I'm putting a timer. Just take a minute and quickly jot down, what do you think were your achievements in 2024? Just write it down. आपको लगता है वो आपके अचीवमेंट्स हैं, आपको दूसरे लोगों ने बोला है कि वो आपके अचीवमेंट्स हैं, परसीव्ड अचीवमेंट्स हैं, जो भी हैं, जो सबसे बड़े आपको लगता है आपके अचीवमेंट्स रहे हैं इस साल के, वो क्या रहे हैं? Just jot down anything and everything that comes to your mind, which according to you went well for this year. If you have a long list, that's good. You can also write down just one word that represents something. Now, next, this may be a shorter reflection, but what was an unexpected joy that you received this year? It could already have been covered in what you've written down, but you may think again. Something that was totally unexpected. आप लोग expect भी नहीं कर रहे थे, and that just happened this year. Okay. Next question. Are we good? Are we good, everyone? Yes? Good. Next question. Who are the people who need to be thanked or acknowledged in this year for you? What were your most valuable relationships? Who are the people you need to thank or acknowledge for helping you get where you are? This could be people in your family. This could be people in your friend circle, in your relatives. It could be people who work for you. They made life so easy for you that you were able to do what you had to do. It could also be people who challenged you, who pushed you to do that extra step. And maybe at that time you were very angry with those people, but had it not been for some of these people, you wouldn't have been where you are. I mean, I always acknowledge that the difficult people in my life, अगर वो नहीं होते उस time, तो I wouldn't have pushed myself to question life. I wouldn't have pushed myself to seek answers. So the top of my list are actually people I acknowledge and I'm grateful to are the people who made life difficult for me. Master Choa, of course, wouldn't use the word difficult. He would use the word interesting. So think of the people you need to thank and acknowledge. Of course, I'm sure some of you will also have, we all have our team of people who are rooting for us, helping us, cheering us on. But don't ignore the people who challenged you. And what is your relationship with them? Are you still, when you think of these people, do you feel angry? Then later on, of course, we'll work on gratitude and forgiveness. That is very important before you go into something new. But right now, you should at least have those names down. So, who are the people who need to be acknowledged, who need to be thanked? Who are the most valuable relationships in your life currently? And I hope you include a relationship with yourself. I'm going to give you just another 30 seconds to answer that before I move on to the next question. Okay, next question. What were your challenges, the biggest challenges that you faced this year? Now, some of you who've been doing this session with me every year, you will notice there are some questions which are being repeated. So there's nothing new as such. I mean, I will try and add something new, but these are the regular questions that I use for self assessment. So, the biggest challenges for you in 2024. You can also think in terms of health, in terms of finances, in terms of relationships, same categories, in terms of professional growth, and then spiritual growth. Just think of the biggest ones that you think of. You can always come back to this list of questions and add to it later and reflect. Okay, next question. What new things did you learn this year? Did you learn something? This question for me, I can also rephrase it as how did you grow? So I had a pretty challenging year. Some of the family members were not well. And it was a time for me, for example, to actually realize the importance of regular practice. It was because of the regular practice I had the energy, the mental, emotional, physical energy to deal with the challenges that were presented. So it's like, every year you are given a test, and maybe in the past few years I was failing the test. I would say this year I can say I passed the test. So for me that's a step forward. All right, the next one is easy, and I'll give you exactly just 1 minute for it. But please be honest, nobody needs to read your list. You need to read it for yourself. What were your biggest time wasters this year? Social media, Netflix, Instagram, Facebook, daydreaming, planning, but not taking action, hoping and wishing somebody else will come and do the work for you, waiting for the right moment. I mean, for me, that happens quite often. I wait for the right moment. Even for a cup of chai, I'll say, okay, why should I get up myself? I'll let my maid come and she'll make it. And then I get a message from the maid, she's not coming. Then I'm forced to get up. All right. If they were time wasters, then I mean, why do I put them there in the list? Because then you should do something about it. Because if you feel that you don't have enough time to do stuff, the time wasters are the ones that you're going to look at and say, okay, this year I will reduce some of this. Okay. What were the activities that you think were value for time that you did this year? A few of the activities that you did this year that was value for your time, that added value to you. It could be learning something new. It could actually just be attending a spiritual retreat. It could be taking a vacation, by the way. Another question you should ask yourself is how did this year make you feel? Now, every year we feel the year has gone by really fast. I think 2024 went by faster than most of the other years. At least for me, it seemed it had just begun and it's finished. But how did this year make you feel? If you were to put it in a sentence or a few words, how did this year make you feel? Did it make you feel happy, sad, sufficient, enough, challenged? Now, if you had a list of goals from last year, I always compare it for the list because I write down my list. It's a good time to look at those goals and see. This is for the people who had written down their list. Did you achieve those goals fully? I would say, like in my case, I would say about 80% of the things were done. Which ones were the ones that you only achieved partially? Are there wishes on your wish list that you didn't even touch? So, when you write your goals, and we will be doing some goal setting today, it's a good idea to think, was it too easy? If it's too easy, then I don't get challenged enough. I probably don't work at it. That's a personality trait. I need some challenge in my life to put in an effort. If it's too easy, I will probably not do it. It's too boring then. If it's too tough, again, you might give up. And sometimes there are goals that are not your goals. They are goals that are thrust upon you by other people's expectations. दूसरों ने एक्सपेक्ट किया कि आप ये सब कर लोगे तो then you start feeling, oh, I didn't live up to their expectation. And because अंदर से वो drive नहीं है to achieve that goal, you never even bothered with it. So again, what is the learning? So to end it all, you can just say, if you had to say 2024 for me was the year of what? Year of learning, learning what? Year of enjoying, enjoying what? Year of making some new decisions, what new decisions? Year of letting go some things, what things did you let go of? This should give you a good idea about the year gone by, right? So, like, one of my favorite author, he says, um, it's funny how day by day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different. C.S. Lewis, no? So, do you feel that way sometimes? Nothing is changing, but then you look back and so many things are different. Another author would always say, he says, it's okay to look back, but don't stare and stay stuck looking back. So it's good to look back at life, pick up the things that were good, highlight your successes, celebrate your successes, laugh at your failures, because, I mean, a sense of humor helps you. So I don't know what were your successes this year. It could be starting something new, starting, for example, savings that you'd not done. Maybe someone quit smoking, maybe someone stuck to a gym routine, however little it was, but I hope you're celebrating your successes. Now, out of all the things you've written, what is it that you feel guilty for? Take a moment to think and see, do you feel guilty for some things? Maybe something you didn't do, maybe something you did. But what is it that you feel guilty about? People you thought you should have met more often, but you didn't. People you think you should have appreciated. Now, we are doing this exercise just to become aware, not to get stuck or to start self whipping, just to become aware so that you can improve upon this. Now, take a moment, close your eyes, and this is the moment where you should forgive yourself for some of these things that you're holding on to the guilt for. Take a moment. Mentally say, it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are a part of growing up, of evolving. We all make mistakes. What's important is to learn from these mistakes and move forward. Now visualize yourself learning the lesson, getting up and moving ahead, telling yourself, I can do better. I will do better. Again, keep your focus on the lesson. Mentally say, thank you for the lesson. Those of you who know pranic healing, you can just cut from the memory. Open your eyes, let go. We all have to detach from the need of having to have things work in a perfect way. We all want everything to be perfect, but the universe and life as we know it has its ups and downs. So it's okay if you made a mistake, don't be stuck, just let go. Make sure you don't, at least you try not to. Those of you who do pranic healing, if you're doing your inner reflection and firm resolution every day, already you should be getting better at it. All right, now let's give thanks. So, as part of the session, we do something called the gratitude meditation. The meditation will take only 10-15 minutes, but it's very important, you know, to have gratitude for things in life because, like they say, if the only prayer you said was thank you, it would be enough. It brings in the energy, it makes you realize how many things you have. So before you start preparing for the next year, it's always good to have a look at the year gone by and then express gratitude and let go of old feelings. So it's like a step by step thing. You start by preparing your energy body also. You have a cleaner energy body that way. You have a more energized energy body. And then you start thinking about all the next things that you need to do. So if there are no questions, anyone would like to comment and share how 2024 was for them with the others? Any highlights that you would like the others? Because sometimes your experiences can help others learn as well. So let's just take a few minutes here for anyone who'd like to share. Come on, guys.
If I may,
Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah. Uh, so, as a gratitude, this whole year, the WTAP program that walked the Arhatic paths. So, I had no idea before joining the course, but that whole course has tremendously changed my life. So, 2024 is a like what to say, it's not only achievement, so much I have experienced actually 2024, and I give everything is connected to this program. That I have actually learned to live life at this age. I have actually, and I have realized that
You're still young, Sangeeta.
not young, you know. So like actually it has taught me how to live a life, and which I used to think that I cannot do, it is not possible for me, but I don't know how did that happen. And of course I know what is that energy. It helped me to regulate my life, and I have seen it is all possible. And it's, I wouldn't say that I have been extremely regular in the meditations, but I have done, and it pushed me to do the courses even up to Kriya Shakti. Like what, even now when I am in this condition, Nina, I could attend that day psychic self-defense course also. I went to the Vasi center and then I attended. So altogether, this spiritual journey has actually reflected everywhere in my professional life, in my, and above everything, in November, I met with a like deadly accident. I don't know how did I survive. Of course, I know it is all the blessings and the master's teachings. Even that time also, when I was in ICU, I was continuously remembering his teaching and whatever I have learned from this WTAP course. And and thanks to all the participants, they prayed for me, and Raja, who has personally messaged me, who taught me how I can actually start a breathing exercise. I couldn't do the Arhatic like breathing, no. So he said, go back to the basics. You start with 7-1, and it helped me. And the way he was, giving me the support. Altogether, I'm grateful to each one of you. Like Master Choa's blessings. And in fact, in one night when I was in the hospital, I just had a dream of, spending time with him. I asked Raja, in fact, like, what does it mean? How to interpret it? It was that kind of. So I am now, I can like conclude that being in this path, actually the normal, what we think is a normal life, everything I am getting, like I'm living a normal life, but with by following all the instructions, and all thanks to you, Nina. It was like it started from you. and and it has actually, it has, as I said, that it has taught me a lot. And also to get recovered. Now I'm working from home, but every time everybody asks me, I always say that I'm fine. The doctor said that it will take several months to be completely fit, but I'm fine. Like I'm able to do the meditations also. I started with Twin Hearts, and then I thought that let me try with the soul also. I could do.
Very
So
good. Thank you for
like
sharing, Sangeeta.
altogether, it's been a wonderful year. Thank you
That's
so
really
much.
nice.
Thanks to all of you.
And it's wonderful that you have that spirit despite that massive accident that you went through. So great. Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you.
Anybody else? Quick. Yes, Anita, please go ahead.
Yeah, for me, it was a year of manifestation and miracles. I mean, my entry into pranic healing happened in 2023, and I completed AYP in 2024. And since then, I attended a couple of your book sessions and one of the session, and it's amazing. I mean, how the miracles happen, and knowing that, I mean, I would say my life has started now. I want to live this life forever, and it's fantastic year. So the best year of my life, I would say, and it's all because of the blessings, and it's all destined, and so many good things happen. Like when you ask me to write down, I could realize actually reflecting, and I'm feeling so happy that you made us write, because there are so many good things I could write about, which I should be really truly thankful to. I mean, otherwise we do reflect, but not up to this level wherein you broke down into subtopics and asked us to write. So thank you so much for that, and thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Jasmeet, did I
Yeah,
see?
hi. So again, life full of blessings and miracles in my life. So my biggest, of course, point was representing in the Paris Olympics as a torchbearer. Um, you know, I mean, once in a lifetime or once in multiple lifetime experience. Um, I got to finish traveling 40 countries with a
Wow.
goal of 50 by 2026. So, just 10 countries short, in 2 years. But this year I spent more time in the air than on the ground, I would say, which always excites me, traveling to new destinations. Egypt, of course, boot camp was a high point, going into the pyramids and with the fantastic group led by Sri Ram. Got very disciplined with investments, financial investments. So that is another high point. Completed crystal and psychic self-defense courses, and regular Arhatic practice as well. So I would say overall period of growth, excitement, change, spirituality, very, very exciting 2024. Looking forward to 2025 now.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. One more person, anyone else who'd like to share? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next part. Okay. So before we go on to planning for 2025, I would like to take a small little moment to practice the gratitude meditation. I will guide you through the meditation. So I'll give you 2 minutes if you want to prepare yourself. Just make sure you're sitting or lying down in a quiet place. Now's the time. You shouldn't be moving around. Please don't do the gratitude meditation as you're driving. If you're driving, uh, please don't practice what I'm saying. Just be safe. Take a few moments. I'm going to mute everyone so there is no disturbance. I'll give you just half a minute to prepare yourself. Just be in a comfortable position. You can be sitting comfortably. You can be lying down. It doesn't matter. This practice is something that you can do every day. I will be leaving the recording on for some time. There's already a bigger version of the gratitude meditation on our page, 365 Days of Gratitude. Some of you know that. This is a shorter version that I've brought in for this session. But basically, it moves your energy levels to a higher level. It invokes positive emotions like loving kindness, compassion. It's also known to evoke and create more problem solving capacities, more creativity. So, to begin with, just find a safe, quiet place where you know you will not be disturbed and try to be as still as you can. Keep your eyes closed, keep your tongue connected to the palate. You can use your imagination to be where you'd like to be. It could be a beautiful garden, it could be on the top of a mountain, surrounded by nature. It could be on a beach or in a field. Keep your eyes closed and just breathe comfortably. Feel your surroundings. Feel the air. Feel the fragrance of the flowers. Start by taking a slow, deep breath. And every time you inhale, bring your focus more to the center of now, to the present. As you breathe in, let your belly expand. Hold your breath. As you breathe out, let your stomach go in. Do this for about 7 breaths. Inhale slowly. And with each breath, visualize yourself more and more in the present. As you exhale, visualize yourself disconnecting from everything else. Let it go. As you continue to breathe slow and deep, take a few moments to mentally scan your body for any areas where there is tightness or tension or soreness. Breathe in fresh, warm, oxygen-filled breath into that area. As you breathe out, allow the tension to be released. On a different note, you can be breathing in fresh prana. As you breathe out, allow the old energy to be expelled. Gently go through the whole body from head to toe, feeling each part of your body relaxing, becoming nice and bright and healthy. If you still notice any worries, any anger, any fear, keep following the same pattern. Breathe in, note your emotions, and as you breathe out, allow them to flow out of your whole body. Just imagine you're releasing the steam. Let go of any thoughts other than just being here in the now, in the present. With a clearer mind, let's start now to think about events or experiences, people, even pets, possessions that we feel grateful for. To remind us, if you're listening into this session, you already know that there are several beautiful gifts that life has given us, starting with the gift of life itself, which is the most precious gift. You were given birth. You were taken care of as a child, as an infant. You have a comfortable place to stay, you have clothes to wear, you've been given an education, food. So, the gift of life itself is one of the most precious gifts that we have to be grateful for. The gift of the five senses, the ability to listen in to this session right now, to listen into music, to listen into good words, happy words, the sounds of birds chirping, the sounds of nature, pleasant voices, the gift of the sense of touch, to be able to feel, touch pleasant things. On a cold winter morning, to feel the warmth of a hot cup of tea or coffee, the sense of taste, to enjoy good food, the sense of smell, to appreciate the fragrances that are there, and the sense of sight that allows us to see beautiful things and the beauty in every little thing in life. Mentally say, for all these senses, I am grateful. Start thinking about all the things that you have in your life that make your life more comfortable and easier. Compared to previous generations, today's life is pretty much easy. You can switch on a light, you simply turn on the tap in your washroom or in the kitchen to get clean water. You can turn on the thermostat and your room becomes warmer, cooler. You have clothes that keep you warm. You have maybe a good vehicle that transports you from here to wherever you want to go. Just think of all the comforts in your life, making your life so much more comfortable. Think of all the people that you're grateful for, starting with your parents, your teachers, your friends, your relatives. As you think of each one of them mentally, one by one, take a little time and say thank you for your presence in my life. Thank you for being there. Thank you for helping me learn, helping me grow, for making my life more comfortable. And in case they made your life tougher, then again say thank you for making me strong, making me realize I can do so much more. To each and every person, mentally say thank you. Maybe later on, make a mental note to send them a thank you in person as well. If they've already passed on, you can still say thank you to the soul that was. Take your time, don't be in a hurry. One by one, thank each and every person who has contributed to your life. Now let's thank also the thousands of people we don't know, but who still contribute to making our lives so much easier. People who are growing the food we eat, they harvest it. There's someone who transports that food, brings it to us. There are people who cook for us. There are people who help keeping the infrastructure going, people who maintain the roads, the buildings that we live in. In India, we have the luxury of domestic helpers, countless people who make the clothes that you wear, a whole chain of retail that makes those clothes available to us, now even at your doorstep. Let's thank people who are responsible for all the technology that helps us connect like we're connected today. The doctors in the hospitals who work towards good health, the legal system that helps you maintain, gets you your rights, people who entertain you, provide you entertainment. Most of these people we've never met, but you should just express gratitude for all of them to make our lives so much more comfortable each and every day. Now take a moment to reflect on your own reasons for feeling gratitude in this moment right now. It could be several other things that I may not have mentioned. And let that feeling of gratitude fill your whole heart, your whole body. Be aware of your heart. Feel the love, feel the gratitude in your heart. You can actually express gratitude to your body, each and every organ, each and every energy center that allows you to function properly, everything working harmoniously. Feel your heartbeat and feel the energy radiate from your heart to each and every cell of your body. Let gratitude fill your heart, your mind, uplifting your spirit. And hopefully, you're already smiling. And as we finish, take note of how you're feeling at this moment. For the next few minutes, just rest quietly. Notice how you feel throughout your body. Notice your emotions. Notice your thoughts. Just observe, no judgment. Just be aware. And when you're ready, gently stretch your hands, move your fingers, move your toes. If you were lying down and if you choose to sit up now, do it slowly. Mentally also create a vision of you doing this practice almost every day. Maybe you can start a gratitude journal, writing down 3 to 5 things every day for which you are particularly grateful. In the next minute or so, slowly open your eyes and come back Thank you for joining in for the gratitude meditation. How do you feel? Easy? It's something that you can do almost any time of the day. And like I said, the full version is about 16, 17 minutes. It's there. You can follow it on the Facebook page, or just take the audio, but you can do your own version of it whenever you want. But it's something that will always help you feel so much better. Okay? All right. So with that, I'm going to take a 5 minutes break, and then we start with the next part of our session, which is preparing for the next year. So if you want to stretch, go get a cup of quick tea or coffee or a glass of water, do that. I will be back in exactly 5 minutes from now. If you want to share something, go ahead and share it. You can put it in the chat. Uh, so it's 3:59. We'll be back. We'll start again at 4:05. Okay, I'm pausing the recording here, and we'll start again. This is every. If not, just make it a practice. I I think I started practicing. The first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is do my prayer, do my pranic breathing, and then count some of the things that I'm grateful for. At the end of the day, the same thing. What was good? What was something that I'm really, really grateful for? And one major shift that has made is even problems don't seem so much like problems anymore. All right. Anyway, let's go into the second part of our session, which is preparing for 2025. It's a more concise version of a longer session that I normally do, but I think we've done it so many times that I think we can just bring it down to this last part. You can keep working on it, of course, as you go. But before you go into the next year, some of the things that you need to write down, and again, this is writing practice again, you need to first be sure of what do you need to let go of? What do you need to make space for in the new year? So call it decluttering if you want to, on a physical level, on an etheric level, on an emotional, mental, spiritual level. So I would like you to start putting down on a fresh page. You can write down declutter, and then you write down what do you want to declutter your life of. So maybe to give you a few inputs, write down a few things that you know are there in your physical surrounding that you would like to get rid of. What are the things that you want to get rid of or give away? It could be old clothes. It could be something absolutely brand new but you haven't used. It could be utensils. I finished giving out clothes. I finished giving out shoes, utensils. What else? So just make your list of what do you need to give away. And then next to it, I would like you to add a date that you will have given it away by this date. I noticed some of the stuff that I thought I'll give away last year was still sticking around in my house after one whole year because I'd actually, though I'd written it down, I'd not put in a date to it. I still have two boxes that I still have to go through, but now I've put a date that by this date, these two boxes will have been sorted out and emptied or whatever. So, by which date will you have decluttered maybe a room, a drawer, some part of your house? Physically speaking, what area of your house would you have cleaned up? Now, next, you can think about foods that you might want to reduce this year. That's also part of physical decluttering. So, for me, I did this whole session in November uh, on integrative nutrition and reversal of chronic ailments. And I have considerably reduced certain food stuff from my kitchen. In fact, my whole kitchen does not have a lot of stuff that it used to have almost a year ago. So there are no refined oils, practically no processed foods. I think the toughest for me to give up was curd. But anyway, so Write down, at least make note, these are the foods you're going to reduce or maybe give up for a certain period of time. I'm sure some of you will have. Now, the foods you will reduce, and also make a list of foods you will increase. That you know are good for you, but for some reason or the other, you don't end up having them. Now we have 52 weeks in the year. You can actually have one thing to give up per week or one thing to add in your routine per week. So at the end of 52, you will have changed 52 things, removed 52 things, and added 52 things to your life. So if you've covered all the foods, anyone wants to give example of the foods you want to decrease and foods you want to increase to help people think and add to their lists? Especially that we live in a country which is a foodie country. Who's going to be making a big, big change in their food habits? Go ahead. Uh, Wait, let me just be able to make you unmute yourself. Hang on. Yeah, go ahead. You want to
Yeah.
leave momos?
No, no. Look, I've already given up on fried foods and eggs as of my birthday last month. So that's good work in progress. I want to
Okay.
give up more refined foods, packaged foods, maida, parathas, and include more berries and citrus fruits, avocado, and seeds in my food list.
Fresh foods is the best.
Yeah,
Fresh and locally available seasonal foods.
yeah.
Okay, good, good. So just put it down because later on you will actually need to write down on how you're going to bring about this change. It's not enough to say, I want to do this. You need to also, so first step is awareness, second step is planning, and the third step is action. That's how we achieve, right? Good. So if you've finished your list of foods, next, which is maybe slightly tougher, habits that you want to leave and habits that you want to inculcate. So for everything, I have two columns. So I have food I want to leave, food I want to add, habits I want to leave, habits I want to add. Thankfully, the habits list is not that big for me now. So write down the habits that you would like to inculcate in the year 2025. And some of your habits that you need to leave. So if some of you are still maybe smoking, you should, and you want to quit, then maybe write it under that. Some of you maybe want to inculcate the habit of waking up at a certain hour or going to sleep at a certain hour, not looking at your phone at a certain hour. Take your time. You can keep adding. That's why one page per question is what I normally do in my copy, because that allows me to have space to do more. Keep adding to it, keep looking back at it. By the way, this whole exercise that I do at the beginning of the year, I keep checking on it. It also helps me streamline the rest of the year. What are some of your emotions that you would like to work on? Do you have a tendency to be impatient? Do you have a tendency to be angry? Now, anger, of course, Master Choa says, disconnects you from the divine. So that is definitely something that everyone should be working on. Be more mindful. For the last few years, I've been writing, be more mindful of the words I use, especially for people I do not like very much. That's a difficult one to get over, especially when somebody else is gossiping about them, and then you get into it. Ah, yes, yes, yes. And then you add a little more masala. So definitely one habit that I personally am still struggling with and need to work on. emotions and thoughts. So I've put myself on the task of creating one good thought. This is based on Master Choa's teachings totally. One good thought about the person I do not like or the persons I do not like. So every time I think negative of them, then I have to stop and tell myself, okay, one good thought, one good thought. I have another topic here which says books I want to read. I don't know how many of you are book lovers, but if you have, you should have a list of books that you will read. In fact, it should have been a question of reflection. What are the books you read in 2024? Do you have a list of books? Those on the spiritual path, those in the school of Pranic healing and Arhatic yoga, I hope you have read every book written by Master Choa. I mean, we did the book reading of 4 books, I think, last year, but Master's written so many more. So you should have a list of books that you want to read by Master or also other books that should be on your list. Now, the last thing on that list, obstacles to your spiritual practices. I'm talking for the people who are in the spiritual school. So, what are the obstacles you want to get rid of? Things that prevent you from doing your spiritual practice properly and regularly every day. It could be laziness. Now, have a look on these things. These are just pointers and see, do you need help? Are you stuck anywhere? Do you need any specific help from some external source? Are you ready to change, but you're not able to change because you're not able to do it on yourself, by yourself? आप अपने आप वो काम नहीं कर पा रहे हो, तो आपको दूसरों लोगों का की मदद चाहिए. तो वो कौन से लोग हैं जो आपकी मदद कर सकते हैं इस चीज में? Now, for example, for me, long back, I won't say it's not a problem anymore, but initially when I started in my spiritual practice, my issue was discipline. I wouldn't be disciplined. What helped me was join group practice. And abhi to luckily group practice ke bahut sare opportunities hain. I started with just another buddy of mine. Uh, I was working in a hospital, then I was going and teaching. So there was very little time. I did not have the time to travel 2 hours back and forth to the foundation. So this other spiritual buddy of mine, she and I decided we are going to meditate at a certain time. We would join in on Skype, do our meditation together. Now, the fact that I'd given an appointment to someone else, it became something that I would do regularly. And from one person, more people joined in, more people joined in till we had a full capacity. Un dino mein, I think 25 ka free capacity hota tha Skype account mein. We were 25 people doing that meditation together. And then it built on, then Zoom came, and so on and so forth. So a good way to overcome, for example, that kind of an obstacle is to have a group. This thing, the group energy will help you. The same thing can be for your exercise. If you have problems exercising, get yourself a buddy. That's why it helps. It's no big deal, you know. If there are very few people I know जो खुद के time से you सब कुछ is available, by the way. आप YouTube पे चले जाओ, everything is available. But how many of us have the discipline कि इतने बजे से इतने बजे YouTube का वीडियो ऑन करके हम लोग एक्सरसाइज करेंगे? क्योंकि हम वो नहीं कर पाते हैं, it makes sense to maybe employ a trainer who will come maybe twice a week, thrice a week, maybe 7 days a week, you decide, but will make sure that you exercise. And now, because you're paying that amount and you've given someone else the time who's coming and standing on your head, you will do the job. You can do that if you're lucky enough. In my previous residence, I used to have a walking buddy. तो जिस दिन मेरे को थोड़ा सा लेजीनेस होता था, my buddy used to reach there and said, नहीं नहीं चलो, आधा घंटा के लिए तो चलो. Same thing, when she was feeling lazy, I would push her. So think also over here, maybe write down the people you can depend on or bank upon to help you overcome that inertia. अगर आपने लिखा है कि अच्छा ठीक है मुझे एक नया हैबिट इनकलकेट करना है, I've taken up a challenge of 100 days of walking every day from starting tomorrow. It's just a walking challenge. But who's going to help me in that? I've got a buddy or someone. So you write down the names of those people and maybe contact them, speak to them, and see if they can help you in that. Okay? Now, another question you have to ask yourself. We already asked the question on how did you feel about 2024? How would you like to feel about 2025? What would you like to look back? Let's say move ahead 1 year in time, and the same session we are doing, let's say on 31st December 2025, what would you like to look back and say, okay, I accomplished this, I accomplished that? Take your time on this one. Now, this is just on feeling. How would you like to feel? The next question I'd like you to answer is how would you like people to feel about you and around you? Especially the people who matter. So, for example, people around me, for me, should feel secure, should feel welcome, should feel heard, should feel noticed, should feel appreciated. Should feel cared for. And when I think about how will I make sure that they do that, I have to remind myself, for example, if I'm talking to someone, I have to be fully listening to them. I shouldn't be doing 10 other things. And especially with, my family members, sometimes I'm doing 10 other things while they're talking and I miss things. So one thing I've written down for myself is, okay, when I'm talking to so and so, I will only be talking to them. I will not be multitasking. That's one way of making someone feel that they matter. So focusing more on one thing at a time, one person at a time. Then listening to just listen, not to answer, but sometimes just to listen and say, okay, I hear you. A lot of times we listen and we are in a big hurry to give advice. So another mindful act that I've thought I will do this year is just listen and then give advice only if asked for. So how would you like other people to feel around you? And what do you need to do to make them feel that way? What is your part, your role? Of course, you can only do what is under your control. So what is it that you will do to make that difference? All right. Now, next question. What are your strengths? So when you write down your goals, before you write down your goals, you need to be aware of your strengths and your gifts. When you're writing down your goals, somewhere in your goals should be using those strengths and those gifts to serve. So, what are your strengths or what are your gifts that you will put to use in the year 2025 to make a difference, however small, in the life of other people, in the community that you live in? How will you serve? So, there can be someone who's good at gathering people, there can be someone who's good at encouraging people to organize something. I don't know, but you decide. What are your strengths? How will you contribute to others? Because one thing that our school teaches us is it is in giving that you receive. So before we start asking, oh, this is my goal, I want this for this life, I want this for this life, I have to be willing to give. So at least jot down a few things that you can do which can be used as service to others. And write down one habit that you will start with tomorrow itself, just one. Eventually, I would suggest you do 52 changes, one change per week. So sit down, maybe not today's session is not enough, but sit down and actually get yourself a calendar and write down for every week one little change. It can be very, very little. One little thing that you will give up, one little thing that you will add, that one combination of giving up and adding, you will really see at the end of the year you will have made a lot. Maybe if you don't do even 52, even if you do 50%, think you will have done more than 25. And that also is such a big change.
Ma'am, can you please give some examples of these 52 habits that you're talking about? 52 is a daunting number. So can you give
That's why just
examples of little things? Yeah.
yeah, just one thing a week. So one thing a week. This week, for example, I will not have sugar. No matter what, in nothing. And you will be tested, by the way. The week I decided, I mean, I left sugar years ago, but sugar comes to you in different forms. Example, you will be invited to a party where they'll say, okay, thoda sa to kha lo. So maybe I'll just take that much just to say, okay, I'm not going to be, super strict about it. I'll just take actually just that much to satisfy the other person, not to hurt that person, but not even to hurt myself. But that whole week, I will stay without sugar. I went through 6 weeks of I had some issues in the body. There was inflammation. I went through 6 weeks of complete no gluten, no dairy. So something or the other. This week, I will make sure that I will wake up at so and so time every day. And you make sure you do that. This week, I will make sure the moment I come back home, the first thing I will do is go and sit and spend 15 minutes with my mom.
Okay. So I have one more question. So you mean for the week I'm doing that? I
You
don't have
set
to.
yourself a task.
I
for the
thought I start with something tomorrow and I have to continue it throughout the year and 52 such things. So I was feeling a
There are
little
some of those things which will continue throughout the year, by the way.
right. But others can be short term also.
Others can be short term, and then
I get
what
it. That
happens
sounds great.
when you
Yeah.
start something short term, sometimes it snowballs into something long term.
Yeah. There is definitely the feeling of accomplishment, even if I
Exactly.
do it for a week.
When you do it for a week and you say, oh, this went well, I want to continue it, it
Got
becomes
it.
so much easier.
Thank you. Sounds great. Thank you.
You can say, like, I set myself the task of creating one good thought for every person. Every time think of something negative, I will stop myself and create one good thought. It's going to be part of my inner reflection. It's just going to be there. I'm going to try and do it. I don't know how much I'll succeed, but I set myself that objective. I have to say something nice or one good thought about the person I don't like or the persons I don't like. It could be something. If somebody has other examples, please go ahead and share. It's always good to share in the group. Anyone? Please, you can put it in the chat or you
Hello,
can.
ma'am. Ma'am, in 2023, I had liver injury.
Okay.
I used to have a lot of momos. And after that, it's like in last year, this 2024, I had momos only twice a year. And that too in a good restaurant.
Great. I love momos. I'm not putting it down that I will not have momos, but yeah, okay. Nothing in excess, only in moderation. That is that is good. So you just put yourself, and this is something, it is not patthar ka lakir. आप आज लिख रहे हो या आपको inputs मिल रहे हैं, you can always change it to what you want. All right? So you don't have to. But yes, please dwell on your strengths. Please dwell on how much you can give back. A lot of us, so much of our life we've spent on just wanting. uh, it's a good time to start really thinking of giving back to contribute. So that's wonderful, Boshada. So just think of how you're going to be giving back. Now, Master Choa tells us to start thinking in terms of different areas of your life. And from his book, Achieve the Impossible, there are sometimes 4 categories, sometimes 5 categories you can look at. So you look at your goals you should have a financial goal. So you write down your finance goal. I want to be earning this much per month, earning, saving this much per month. Now, it has to be realistic. If, let's say, you're earning 1 lakh, it's realistic to want a 20% increase. But you should have a financial goal. Now, under my financial goal, I actually have started working it backwards. I actually write down the amount I want to be able to donate. And that kind of makes it very easy because I can only donate when I earn. So you write down your monthly, your yearly goal, the amount of saving you want. You should have a finance goal. Then you should have a goal for personal growth. Now, some people also include professional over here, so you can decide. Now, even if you're not working, someone's messaged, but I'm a homemaker. Now, recently I attended a session with Dr. Prashant, and he really put it very nicely. So, don't don't belittle yourself saying I'm just a housewife. You're a homemaker. The word itself changes. I think it's the toughest job in the world. Start by appreciating what all you do to help run the house smoothly. So, personal growth can be learning a new skill, can be achieving a fitness goal. Now, in the fitness goal, many of us here need fitness goals. Don't just write something arbitrarily as I want to lose weight. Write down the ideal weight you would like to achieve. And it should, again, make it practical. Please don't say, okay, within 2 months, I will lose 20 kgs. That's not healthy. So maybe in the whole year, you want to lose 10 kilos, which means a major part of it you will have to lose beginning, and then the last bit will take more time. Then you say, okay. And then you should have space. What are you going to do to achieve that? So if you have a goal to reduce weight, what are you going to do? If you have a goal to increase your stamina, what are you going to do? How will you increase your stamina? Do you need a buddy again? Do you need external help? Do you need, what is your motivation? A lot of us want things, but we are not enough motivated to achieve that. When you're really motivated, you will achieve it. It's literally when your backside is on fire, then you have to run, you know. So what is it that you need to do to reach that situation? Yes, go ahead, Jasmeet.
I have a question about the realistic financial goals.
Hmm.
Okay, now I do understand the rationale that if it's realistic within reach, you would have a better planning and better execution around it. Smaller steps you can easily plan in a shorter time frame. But what is not right about having a really formidable goal? Maybe the time frame could be, say I want to retire with so much corpus or
Yeah, but you have to look at, so if what we want realistic is you need to look at your current circumstances and past track record and see, have you been able to make the changes? There's no limit really. But for certain people, let's say, for example, if I'm just taking a very simple number, not this thing, but let's say someone's earning 1 lakh a month and they want to save 1 lakh a month. That's not being realistic because you will have some expenses. So you want to save 1 lakh a month and you have an expense which is at least 50,000, then you have to up your income by 1 lakh 50,000. To up your income by 1 lakh 50,000, what are your possibilities? If you're already working 12 hours a day, do you have the possibility of increasing your work hours? No. You
or
have the
acquiring new
possibility of,
skills, or
exactly. So
yeah,
you
or
have
do
to, it's situation to situation, no? It's circumstantial. You have to, everybody's, this thing will be separate. What I'm saying realistic is within what you think is possible. Always aim for a little higher, but it can't be so off that it's completely impossible. Your
so
brain
so
will not accept it.
Yeah. So there's one element of what you can do with your current circumstances in terms of your current skills and current work environment and what you do for a living, right? Then there's also the element of fortune. Like, for example, you want your
Absolutely. That's why we're in an
investments.
energy school. So you do something to increase the energy. But again, over there, having said that, again, Master would say, if you follow the principles of success given in Kriya Shakti,
Yeah.
again, it still has to be practical. So somebody who's wanting to, let's say, buy a new house, which is costing 2 crores, but their income is just 1 lakh a month, they will have to make some very, very big changes. If they don't have a saving already, even the bank will not give them the loan to put in for 2 crore place. So you have to then see, okay, I want to build that, but what am I doing currently that will enable me to get there? If I'm very far, then I have to start small. I have to start building and working towards it. Then you have to also realistic also in the terms of, okay, when I get this thing, what are the consequences of achieving it? Sometimes we want something, but we're not ready for the consequences of having achieved it. For example, I'll again give you a very realistic example. I actually have a friend who went and bought a huge place, had the money for it, went and bought a huge place, is now suffering to maintain the place. It's beyond her capacity to maintain the place because just having gotten that place is not enough. There's maintenance, there's cleanliness, there's, so many other things, security, blah, blah, blah. So now the person is actually considering selling it off. It's not easy to sell it off. So you really have to think through for certain things. That's why I said make it realistic. Also, see if I achieve it, what will I lose? What will I gain? And what will it make me feel to have achieved it? Your goals, that's why you need to put some time and effort into your goals. At the first, this thing, you put down everything you want. Then you start looking at, okay, is this realistic? Not realistic. Is this doable? Not doable. How will it make me feel if I get it? What do I need to do to get it? Am I willing to put in that effort to get it? A very common example that I've used umpteen times is, for example, I can say I want a very, very fit body, very, very well toned, muscular body with six-pack abs. Now it's possible. Okay. Anyone who thinks I can't do that, please talk to me separately. No, no, it's very much possible, right? Am I willing to put in the 3 or 4 hours of exercise I need to do every day to get the six-pack abs? No chance. I'm not willing to do it. So it should not be part of my goal. Now, for me to say I want to get six-pack abs without having to exercise every day is an unrealistic goal. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
So whatever goal you're putting, you put it, but then you please think it through. What is it that I will need to do to get to this goal? What will achieving this goal mean in my life? What change will it cause? What will I gain? What will I lose? Because there are things to gain and to lose for each and everything that we get in our life. So, personal goals, professional goals, please put them down. What is it? You want to learn how to play a new instrument, you want to learn a new skill. Those are easy, right? Then, relationship goals. This can be tricky, but please put it down. Who are the people you would like to improve your relationships with this year? What are the relationships? At least 2 or 3 you can put down, the most important ones you're going to work on, how you're going to work on. There's somebody at my door. Just give me a moment. I'll be back in a second. 1 second. What are the relationships that you want to work on? Now over here, please take time to write down the names of people you haven't been able to forgive. And maybe one of your goals could be working on forgiving. Now, forgiving, please remind yourself, takes time. Don't feel guilty because you're not able to forgive. It's a work in progress. If you use the techniques given by Master Choa, you will be able to get there eventually. So, what are the relationships that you want to work on? And lastly, what are your spiritual goals? So, in these four categories, you should have not more than 5 goals each. Now, having too many goals is also a problem. So, Master Choa would say maybe 5. So, what I do is, I've done this exercise with some of you who've attended my other sessions. We do it's called a dumping exercise. First, you just write down everything you want. Then you look at that paper, and some of those things will actually stand out, and you choose the 5 most important in each category. And then you make a new list with that. So it does take some effort of sifting out, picking out, writing, rewriting. Till the end, in the end, you will have one whole list. So per category, 1 page of clear goals. Then under each goal, then you go into the next step, which is planning, which is also working on removing all the obstacles that are there. So if you've had a consistent goal over the last 7, 8 years, but it has not manifested, that is really where you need to check what are your patterns. Why haven't you managed to manifest that goal? Then you can maybe identify, hey, I didn't manifest it because eventually I got lazy. I didn't manifest it because I didn't put in the effort. I didn't manifest it because I realized I don't even really want it. For me, some of the goals have changed over the time. I used to write it down in every year, but then I realized I don't even really want it anymore. So this is the exercise you need to do. You should have your 4 categories. Write down everything that you want. Out of that, let the most important things stand out and take them and put them on a fresh sheet of paper. The next reflection you need to do when you look at those goals is, again, this comes from Master Choa. Where is it that you want to be? Where is it that you are currently? What is it that you are doing? And what is it that you need to do? Now, if you want to be at a certain level, what is it that you need to do to get to that level? You make a list of steps that you will need to do to get to that level. I mean, the easiest example is a fitness goal. Okay, somebody wants to be, for me, it can be a certain trek. I want to cover and achieve or be able to trek in a certain area in that much period of time. What do I need to do to build my stamina to be able to achieve that? That compared to what am I doing currently? If I'm not doing what it takes currently, I'm not suddenly going to wake up one day and say, oh, I can achieve that goal. So you see what is required, what am I doing? Are these two aligned? If they're not aligned, you need to align them. Because if they're like this, you will not achieve the goal. So just wishing is not enough. It has to be followed up with proper action. And this will take time. It will take the mental effort. So in pranic healing, we have 5 virtues: loving kindness, non-injury. You can also write your goals on the basis of those 5 virtues. I've done that as well. Those of you who are in pranic healing, you write down which goal is going to be injurious to me, which goal is going to be loving and kind to me myself. Generosity and non-stealing, um, honesty and non-lying, industriousness and non-laziness. So again, you have to see commitment, emotional commitment, mental commitment. Are you putting in the commitment? Now, over there also, you can follow the same rule. One thing to work towards my goal every week. So let's say you take one big goal. What is it that I'm going to do every week consistently to get there? And I'm going to add to it. So Shubha Lakshmi had asked about things that you want to change. To building towards a bigger goal, you can actually break your goal into steps. This week, I will do this much. Next week, I will add on this much. Next week, I will add on this much. This week will be vacation time, so I will not do anything, and that's okay. But more or less, your calendar should be planned. So if you have the calendar in front of you, I told you the best time to start something new, you mark those dates for yourself. You write those dates down for yourself. One is the new year, within the first 2, 3 days of the new year's. Those of you who are in the school, please make sure you do your tithing for the whole year. Master Choa would do his tithing for the entire year in the beginning of the year. Then he would do monthly tithings, and then he would do also tithings for extra special circumstances. So if there was a natural disaster, that would be separate. But the general tithing he would do just in the beginning of the year. Then your new moon, your full moon days can be heavy energy days. So again, those days, what is it that you're going to sit and bless? What is the special practice you're going to do? Make sure if you're part of the school, you do your full moon meditations. Very high energy. You know that. Use these techniques to help you put in the energy factor for your goals. But you should put, now it's easy with technology. You should have reminders on your phone. This is the day I'm going to tithe. This is the day I'm going to do something like that. Your birthday should be a high energy day. Master Choa's birthday should be a high energy day. Vesak should be a high energy day. The Mahasamadhi day for Master Choa should be a high energy day. So you have at least, I think, if you go like that, you have 13 full moons, one birthday of the teacher, and then the new year, and then the Vesak. You already have 16 or 17 days in the year which are high energy days straight away. So at least those days you should mark. Then your spiritual goals can be, maybe it could be attending new courses, it could be simply regularizing your practice. Now, what is regular can be, for someone, it can be every day, for someone, it can be 3 times a week. That's okay. But set your goal. Okay? Any questions on this? Now, lastly, once you have your fared out sheet of goals, you can write your goals in what most people say is the best way to write it down. I am so grateful that I live a life of balance and abundance. I am so grateful for good health in my life. I am so grateful to have achieved. So you just basically write it as if you've already gotten it. This is a trick that everyone teaches. So happy. This year, I want to grow some of my own food, for example. I started it last year, want to continue doing some more. So happy that I've got some food from my own garden that I'm eating and harvesting and sharing with others. Um, so you write down your goals in each category in that sense. And then every time you meditate, you bless them. You visualize them happening. If you're in a group meditation, you bless everybody else's wishes. As you bless others, your own wishes will be blessed. So if everybody's got your, there's a little visualization exercise I would like to do, and we can end with that. If everybody's got their more or less an idea of what you have, then this is an exercise that it's not mine. I unfortunately don't have the name of the person to give credit to. It was a session I attended many, many years ago. It's from my notes. And that person had also taken it from somewhere, but some of you might have done it. I call it the pillars of creation. So it is the last exercise that we will do. And again, if you're ready, put your pens and paper down. It works on 3 simple pillars of creation. You start by closing your eyes. And again, just go into a simple, deep, rhythmic breathing. Listen to your breathing gently in and out and feel your body relaxing. One more time. Feel your head relax, your shoulders relax. Let go of any tension. Feel your chest relax, your stomach, your legs. Everything relax. Just let the weight of your body sink into the seat that you're sitting in. And this time I want you to find yourself in a space of darkness. There's only black, and you're floating in space, totally weightless. And then suddenly, far away, you see a small beacon of light. And you travel towards the light. And as you move towards the light, you see this light is growing in size. What was once just a tiny grain of sand is now the size of a coin. And as you keep moving towards it, this little light becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. It looks blue. It is the familiar shape of planet Earth. And your consciousness is floating just above it. Take a moment to just connect with this Earth, to connect and understand that at one level, you're one with all of it. From the tiny little ant balancing the weight of a blade of grass, to the dolphins swimming in the ocean, to the people going about their world, you're all connected. Now travel downwards into the earth to a place that makes you feel the most comfortable, the most alive. It could be somewhere you've been before or somewhere you would like to go. A place where you feel comfortable and happy. It's your own paradise. Just travel there, and as you travel there, you feel comfortable, in control, connected. Sense the ground, the air, the warmth of the breeze, or the sounds around you, and settle in. And now visualize a pillar of light emerging from the ground, going up, high up, outwards towards the sky, till it touches the sky. And on this pillar, place a memory of gratitude that brought you joy in the last 24 hours. It could be something small, like the touch of a comfortable bed or a soft pillow, the warmth of a hug, a nice cup of tea or coffee, meeting a friend, anything. Just place the memory of gratitude on this pillar of light. Now see a second pillar arising from the ground, and this one also goes up high, high, high into the sky. On this pillar, send love to a special person. Someone you need to forgive, maybe. Somebody who's hurt you. Mentally, you can say, I release the hurt. I release the hurt from my heart and from my mind. Remind yourself that hurt people hurt other people. So send these people blessings and love and release them from your thoughts. Again affirm, I let go. Now imagine a third pillar, a giant pyramid of light. Allow this pyramid of light to surround you. And on this pillar, you imagine your perfect day. If today was your perfect day, how would it be? What would you be doing? Who would you meet? Where would you go? If today was an unbelievably good day, how would today be? You envision that perfect day and place it on the third pillar of light. Now from top of the pyramid, let another pillar of light come down. Allow it to send light into you, right through your body, connecting you to the very core of the universe. On this pillar, you envision your perfect life. What does your life look like? Where do you wake up? Who is with you? Let's say the whole 2025. What does it look like for you? You may visualize a collage of memories that are yet to be created and play them out in front of you as if they've already happened. Places you've seen, adventures you've experienced, people you love and are loved by. Let each experience fill your heart with joy. Smile and let that light keep sending that reel of beautiful images into you. And now, on the count of 3, you will release all these 4 visions into the sky like a rocket. All the 4 visions of gratitude, of forgiveness, your perfect day, and your perfect 2025. You will launch them into the heart of the universe. Visualize all these 4 pillars ready to launch. You can feel them steady. 1, they are nice and steady. 2, they are vibrating, shaking, ready to be launched. 3, release them and see them shoot off into the sky, into the center of the cosmos, like a message in the bottle, knowing that your message is received. Your calls are being answered. And now, slowly, gently come back to reality. Feel your physical body come back to the plane. Be aware of your whole body, connecting it to the present, to the place you're in right now. Move your feet, feel your legs, feel your stomach, your chest, move your hands, your face, and slowly open your eyes, coming back to a life that is a life of your choice, your dreams, your own creation. Take a moment to give gratitude to the Supreme Being, God, to all the spiritual teachers, to all the angels, beings of light, to our higher divine self. We thank you all for your priceless blessings. May all our wishes be blessed. May all our thoughts be guided by the thoughts of our higher divine self. May our actions be aligned with the will of our higher divine self. With thanks and with deep faith, so be it. All right. With that, we come to the end of the session. I will put up the recording. I will share the link later on. You might want to revisit some parts. You might want to keep working on your goals or some of the things that we brought up for reflection. You can choose to do the gratitude meditation when you want, or you can use this pillars of creation if you want. They're simple. I cannot take credit for them. I've just used them in the past. They've served me well. Um, so, but my deepest gratitude to, of course, Master Choa, because I think it's only since I came into the school of pranic healing that I started looking at certain things in a certain way, understanding things in a certain way, understanding how energy works and stuff like that. Okay. Thank you all for your presence here today. Wish you a very, very happy 2025. And I hope to see more of you in the coming year. Okay. Happy tidings. Happy New Year. Some of you, I guess, will join in for the full New Year meditation tonight. Yeah. I hope you've signed up for that. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and see you soon. Namaste.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, ma'am.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.